All right, so now we're pretty comfortable working with Copilot in VS Code. I want to show you something that unlocks a whole new level of power, and that is MCP servers, where MCP stands for Model Context Protocol. Now, if you've never heard of MCP before, it basically defines a way for AI agents to easily communicate with external services and APIs like GitHub, or backend services like Supabase and Firebase, and other APIs as well, for example, Stripe or Perplexity. So for an AI agent to communicate with those APIs easily, we can use an MCP server, which exposes tools the AI can use to interact with them. And for each external service, we typically have a specific MCP server for it. For example, if we make a Supabase database for a project and we want Copilot to be able to communicate with that database, we would install and run the Supabase MCP server. And when we do that, the Supabase MCP server exposes tools which Copilot can use to interact with that Supabase backend to do things like read and write tables. Now, in this lesson, I won't be doing a deep dive into the inner workings of these MCP servers, and we're going to be using them from a higher level to help us in a typical coding workflow. But I am hoping to do a whole course about MCP servers in the future that goes into much more detail. Now, there's a bunch of different MCP servers already available for different services or APIs you might want to use, and you can find a huge directory of them at pulsemcp.com, so definitely check this out. There's also an official Anthropic list of MCPs on GitHub as well, so I will leave both of these links down below the video. In this lesson, we're going to set up the Supabase MCP server, hook it into Copilot, and see how we can use it within this application. So I'm just on the Supabase docs right here for their MCP server, and it's going to show us how to set this up in different environments. We're using VS Code, so let's click on that link, and it's going to scroll us to the setup guide for the server. Now, I'm on Windows, so I'm going to make sure Windows is selected right here. And we can see that it tells us to make a file called mcp.json inside the VS Code folder. And then inside that file, we add this code. So just really quickly, let me go through this because the structure is very similar for other MCP servers you might want to use with Copilot as well. First, the server's property is where we list the actual server we want to use. In this case, that's the Supabase server. And that server is configured within this object where we specify the project reference right here, which we'll need to add shortly, and also the access token. Now, the access token, we don't hard code into the file. Instead, when we run the server for the first time in VS Code, it's going to ask us for this input up here. And that input is the Supabase access token, which we'll paste in. The server then uses that token as its value when it's running to be able to connect to the project. So copy this code for now, but before we head back to VS Code, I want to show you how to get your project reference and also how to make an access token. And all of this assumes you already have a Supabase project up and running, by the way. And if you don't know how to do that and you're interested in learning about Supabase, then definitely check out my Supabase crash course. The link will be down below the video. Anyway, to set up your project reference, to get your project reference, head to your project in your dashboard, then go to the project settings over here. And on this page, you should see an ID that looks like this. So this is your project reference, which you will need in a moment. To make an access token, you'll need to head to your account preferences up here. And on the next page, choose access tokens. Then you can just click on generate new token to make a new one and copy it. This one's going to be deleted by the time you watch this video, so no point in trying to use it. But anyway, now let's head back to VS Code and set this all up. So then, first of all, we need to make that new file inside the VS Code folder, which should be called mcp.json. Then inside here, I'm going to paste in that block of code from the Supabase docs. And by the way, you can add multiple servers and they'd be registered inside this server's property right here. They might also require you to add more inputs up here as well. Anyway, next we need to replace the project ref text with the actual project reference. So I'm just going to grab that from my other screen and I'm going to paste it in right here. Now, one more thing before we run this server. Notice this read-only flag right here, which means we're only giving read access to the client, the Copilot. If you want to be able to make tables or perform other actions on the back end, you'll need to remove this flag. All right, and now we can try running this server. The way we do that is just by coming above the server name and clicking on the start button right here. And while this server is running, Copilot gets access to a bunch of Supabase tools. You can see all of those by clicking on the tools icon down in the chat window. And if we scroll down, we're going to come to the MCP server section for Supabase, and anything with a check is available for us in the chat. So we can apply migrations, we can deploy edge functions, perform SQL commands, etc. And we don't need to manually reference these tools when we chat in Copilot. The AI is clever enough that we can just type in plain language, and it can figure out which tool it needs to use to perform whatever task we want it to. So for example, I could come down here and I'm just going to paste in a message which says, can you make a new Supabase table to store shopping lists in? Can you also make the schema for that table so each shopping list record has an items property, which is an array of strings? And hopefully Copilot will infer what we need to do, or the AI model will rather, and then it's going to use the correct tools from Supabase MCP server to go out and do that for me. And by the way, just very quickly before we send this, I noticed that when I ran the server down here, it didn't ask me for my access token, and that's because it's not the first time I've run this server for this project. However, if it is your first time, then you should see a pop-up up here asking for that access token. You just need to enter it, and then you'll see these asterisks right here. All right then, so now let's send this request. And in fact, before we do that, I'm just going to grab this and cut it, and I'm going to start a new chat for this. All right, so let's place this prompt back in and press enter. And you can see that Copilot has detected we've got this Supabase MCP server, and the AI knows that we can run this tool, apply migration. Now it wants permission to do that, so I'm going to click on continue to allow it. All right, and it's telling me now that it has done it, and it's set up a shopping list table right here with the following structure. So each record has an ID, name, items, user ID, created at, and updated at. All right, so I'm going to verify that that's worked by coming to the project dashboard and then going to the table editor. Inside here, we can see now the new shopping list table, and over here, the different fields, the ID, name, items, user ID, and created at and updated at as well. Awesome. So now Copilot has reached out to Supabase using this MCP server, and it's created the table for me with all of these different columns, which is awesome. That's saved me having to do it. So this is the power of MCPs. We give AI models the added context of data sources that are external from our application code. And that, my friends, is MCP servers in a nutshell. They allow AI models to communicate with other tools or services outside of the project code. And there's a bunch more that you can try out. Just Google MCP servers. You're going to find hundreds of lists of the best 10 or something like that. We are going to be using the Supabase MCP server as we go forward. And next up, we're going to be adding more features to the application with the help of a feature list file.